Okay, we're going to get started. I'm going to show you today how to use Manjaro. And just to get started, we'll go over a handful of commands just so that you have the opportunity to see how those commands work. And then once we have done that, we will then move on to things like editing files and a little bit more complicated items. So I'm going to share my screen, and then I am going to go full screen here. And at this point, you should see this login screen. You may have already logged in, and that's totally fine. It doesn't matter, but I just want to start directly from the beginning. So I have now logged into the system. Here in a moment, the desktop will populate, and then we will move from there. Once you've logged in, you're going to see a page like this that says Manjaro Hello. You can come here to documentation if you're interested in doing so. You can always click this home item right here, this icon, to go back. You can see release info. If you see this, it looks like a square with an arrow. That will typically be there to warn you that this is an external link, and when you click on it, what it will do is it will spawn your web browser. So for this system, the default web browser is going to be Mozilla Firefox, which is what you will experience whenever you are using your laptop. I'm going to close this for now. As you can see, external link, external link, external link, external link, and external link, so on and so forth, right? If you want to turn this off, you can do so by typing, or not typing, clicking here where it says launch at start. We're going to ignore that new kernel for now. I'm just going to close it up here, which means it will come up the next time we log in again. Whenever you're ready to get rid of this, that's fine. I recommend taking a little bit of time just to click around inside of these links and just read them. You don't have to sign up for the web forum, but again, you click on the forum, it will open up, and then you have access to lots of information. If you were to sign up here, you could do so, and then they'll oftentimes give good support off of the Manjaro forums. I think they're pretty helpful, but of course, just send me a message if you need assistance. So we're going to click and close. This is our desktop. Your background might be a little bit different. If you right click and then choose desktop settings, it will populate the wallpapers for the desktop, and then you can always pick something different. If you just want a mouse, you can have just a mouse. That's the XFCE logo. You can click here. You can see that. I like the defaults. I think these are just fine. I'm going to switch to this one. This is perfectly fine for me, and I'm going to close it here. Next thing, you see these two boxes down here. These are going to be your desktops. If we open a home, you can see these are your files, and this is a visual representation of your files. I'm going to show you something here momentarily, but for now, we're just using this as a placeholder. If we click here, it will take us to another desktop that is now empty. Click back, and we can work here. So if I click here, open up file system, I can swap back and forth between the two. This is good for your organization. Don't forget that you have multiple desktops. You don't have to have 10, 20, 30 windows all open on a single desktop if you're trying to accomplish something that, as part of your workflow, benefits from having multiple desktops. You're going to see here there is an icon for your clipboard. As you add things to the clipboard, let's say I put in the word dog, I highlight it, type Control-C, I come here, the word dog is now saved. This keeps a history of everything that has been inside the clipboard. That can be important in case you've been working on something and you've been copying and pasting and moving between documents or web pages or anything like that, and then you need to go back within the clipboard and find something. That can be a real lifesaver, especially if you're going to be doing any kind of intelligence analysis or anything related to moving large amounts of data while using the clipboard. So I'm going to click that as well. You can change the video mode from to something like presentation mode. I'm not worried about that right now. This is where your Ethernet and other internet connections are handled. Down here, you're going to see a shield with a check mark. This just lets you know if any of your software is out of date, and also lets you come in here and install software if you need to do so. You can see all of the installed software, and if there are any updates, the system will say whether or not you need those updates here. And then final item is if you right click here, it will give you some more options, like being able to install things like language packages if you needed a Spanish keyboard or Japanese or anything like that. At this time, I'm just going to make the assumption you don't need anything like that. Next item is this is your start menu, bottom left hand corner. If we left click, you will see it comes up just like the start menu under Windows. You have a terminal emulator, file manager, web browser, mail reader. You have lots and lots of toys right here, like system, your settings, let's see what else, dictionary if you need it, different accessories, things like notes. So if you want to be able to take notes, you can do so here, especially important as you work. And then our next thing is the terminal. Now the terminal is the most important part of everything that you're going to be doing on this system. And while there is a graphical user interface and you can use it for all number of things, you're always going to want to default to the terminal as much as possible because it keeps you combat effective no matter what system you move to. You can install Ubuntu, Red Hat, Unix, something like FreeBSD, Arch, any of those operating systems, no matter what server you're moving to or where you're working globally. This is going to allow you to still stay effective if you can do everything in the terminal. So let's learn a couple of commands here. The first one I want to show you is present working directory. So this is our home directory, right? This is a visual representation of that. I'm going to move this down here and type pwd, and you'll see home test, and if I type ls, Lima Sierra, you can see desktop documents downloads, right? Desktop documents downloads. Everything that you do within the graphical user interface is 100% available to you, if not more, within the terminal. You just have to learn the commands. So Papa Whiskey Delta shows me what directory I'm working in. Lima Sierra, that shows me the items within that directory. If I need to move to another directory, I type CD or Charlie Delta / desktop, and then type ls, and you'll see right now nothing is on the desktop because these are very special icons: trash, file, system, and home. But if I type the word touch, Tango, Oscar, Uniform, Charlie, Hotel, space, and then let's say file.txt, hit enter, you can see I created a file directly on the desktop. If I type in rm, Romeo Mike, file.txt, it removes it. Now, let's say that that file doesn't exist. I type in rm dog.txt. Cannot remove dog.txt because no such file or directory. The system is designed to tell you if there's a problem, and it will give you lots of information. I can type in ls dog.txt, and it says cannot access dog.txt, no such file or directory. So can't remove it, cannot access it. Why? Because it doesn't exist. It will talk to you. The system will talk to you. If we want to go back to our home directory very quickly, we can type in Charlie Delta space, hold shift, hit the tilde key. That's going to be the key typically directly next to the number 1. So just shift next to it to the left, and then hit enter. Papa Whiskey Delta, hit enter, and we can see that we are in home test. That's all I'm going to get you started with. This should be more than enough just to get the party started. As you work on this, just reach out to me. Let me know if you're having any problems or anything like that. I'm happy to work with you. Let me know. Just text me, send me a message, anything. For those of you who are watching this and you're like, what the hell is this? What I'm doing is I'm creating a video just to teach the basics of using Linux and getting started with Linux using Manjaro XFCE to a personal friend of mine. So this is just me specifically talking to that person. So if you stumbled onto this and you're wondering, why are we going over certain topics, or why does this seem so easy, or anything like this, the video is probably not entirely directed towards you. It is actually directed to a very specific person. So thanks for watching, and I'll get another one of these videos out real soon.